Hey guys, this is Jacques from MakuluLinux and welcome to another video. Um, I've got quite a lot to cover in this video, so I may make it in sections. I'll try and get through it in one go, but I may chop it up into different sections. What I will do is I will put links down in the first comment, which I'll pin, and I'll make shortcuts because I'm going to be speaking about the desktop, the theming, the settings manager, the control panel, the AI and various other aspects, back end, front end, you name it. And so what I'll do is I'll section it off and I'll put links down in the first comment so that you can just jump straight to a section that you might want to watch. Like you might want to skip the themes because, whatever. So what I'll do is I'll do that. Anyway, welcome to another video. Today we're going to look at the new upcoming LinDoz edition, which is due very, very soon. I'd say within about 15 to 20 days. And so we're going to have a quick overview of what it's all about, and also the new AI changes in LinDoz, because AI has now gone to the next phase. So let's start with the obvious, the desktop, the actual desktop. So as you probably should know, LinDoz is based on Cinnamon. Okay, so it's running Cinnamon, and we're using the Nemo file manager. So if you look at help about, you'll see Nemo 5.2.4, and I think Cinnamon is 5.2.7. So it's not the newest Cinnamon, but it is up there. Now, the reason we don't use the latest Cinnamon is we don't need to. We're just using the Cinnamon framework. We're making our own forks and changes and stuff, and we do not require any of the newest features to run LinDoz. So we're not dependent on those new features. So this version serves us pretty well. It covers everything that we need from the backend DE. Okay, so we're running Nemo file manager and the Cinnamon desktop. That's the base for this release. And of course, our front end is kind of like a Windows look, not a clone, but a very Windows look, which is the LinDoz. And we run a standard menu. We run the Cinnamon menu, obviously, and we have a bottom panel. On the bottom left, you got a couple of shortcuts here, your file manager, your browser, your terminal, your software center, and your system updater. On the other side, you got show desktop. So you see, as I hover, the clock disappears and the icons fade. You see the icons blur. So that's show desktop. Then you got your clock calendar, your network, and so forth, your printers, your removable devices, your Bluetooth, your keyboard. And by the way, this is an on-screen keyboard. If you click it, it pops down a keyboard. Actually, sorry, not pops up, pops down. Now, this is handy if your keyboard's broken. Then you can just use this with a mouse, or if you have touch screen, you can just click on the keyboard in the panel and then just instantly use it. Okay. And then next to that, you've got your Spices updates, which is your applet updates, and then of course your volume manager. So you've got all the standard stuff in the bottom panel. The bottom panel itself is transparent, and we'll speak about that just now in the theming. Like I said, we're using Nemo File Manager 5.2.4, I think it is, and all the standard bells and whistles. The terminal, the kernel that we're using out of the box is 5.10. Now people are going to ask, why don't we use the new 6 point whatever is currently the newest, or 7, kernel 6 or 7? Well, we want to support the newer hardware, but we also want to support older hardware. And so what we did was we put in kernel 5.10 as a standard kernel. We have updated all of the firmware on the distro to the latest. We actually pulled from sources. So majority of hardware should be supported out the box. If you have a GPU that is not supported, you can just boot into recovery mode and upgrade the kernel. We have included a kernel updater. If you go here, you'll see there's a mainline. Where is it? Mainline, somewhere here. There we go. Mainline kernels. If you open that, it just shows a whole bunch of kernels from the newest to the oldest, and you can just update your kernel with a click of a button. So installing the newest kernel is not an issue. So that's the desktop basically. Oh, we also have a Conky clock on the desktop. And of course, we have a Conky Clock Manager installed, so you can theme it either way. We've included one or two themes. You can download theme packs and add your own Conky Clock. No big deal. Other than that, we've got a couple of icons on the desktop. Boot Repair, which is only shows in live mode. If you install that icon, it won't show. Then you got your Desktop Manager, which manages your themes, the AI servers, special effects, wallpaper manager, constructor tool, advanced themes, and settings, as well as your 4 default themes. And then, of course, you've got your Electra terminal interface, which is talking to the AI via terminal, and we'll get to that in a bit. So, in a nutshell, it's a solid base. It's running on the Jamie, or it's getting its core update from the Jamie repo, which means that there's a life cycle until 2027. And it's a solid base. It's nice and snappy. I'm inside a virtual machine. As you can see here, I'm inside VMware. So, I mean, this is running inside VMware, right? So it's not even on real hardware. Most of my videos I make it inside VMware. So it's not even on real hardware. And so whatever speed you can see, I mean, this is on simulated hardware, so imagine it on real hardware. And now you kind of have an idea of how fast and snappy this is. You might see a little bit of screen tearing, but that's probably because of the VMware GPU. It's not a real GPU, it's a simulated GPU. Although I don't think you'll really see much tearing, maybe just a little bit of delay when I'm doing that kind of thing. You can see there's a lot of special effects. So yeah, by default, there's a lot of nice special effects. And so let's move away from that and let's talk about the special effects for a second. So a couple of special effects here. Firstly, we've got the bouncy windows, as you can see, the wobbly windows. And then you also have the bouncy effect when you maximize and minimize them. So just like the old, what was it called? Compass effects. A lot of those are present here, right? So you have that. And then you've also got drop shadows. If you actually look on the side of these boxes and at the bottom of the boxes, you can see it there. You see it? Mostly, not really when I drag so much, but when I let go, do you see it? It's almost like this. It's almost like my desktop is layered. You've got the background, and then you've got this sort of like a layer lying on top of it. You can see it on top here as well. However, when you have two windows open, then the background window becomes part of that. You see there's not too much of an effect there with that one, but there's a lot more effects. So this one like bolts, like bevels to the front. So there's that nice sort of, what gives it almost like a 3D kind of effect, right? Which is really nice. When you drag items around, you can see they're semi-transparent. You can see the icons through the window, but when I let go, it's solid. Okay, so there's a little bit of a transparency with the sort of drag and drop, which is nice because when you drag something, you can always see what's behind it. The coloring and the theming is just top notch. We decided to use the 4 main themes, I guess, that came with Windows. Because remember, this is LinDoz, so we do theme it Windows-like. But that's about as far as it goes. Apart from the theming, you don't really get anything else Windows-like, except maybe the browser. But that's it. We don't name things like Windows or anything like that. We just wanted to theme similar to Windows. And even the theming, I'll explain, there are some differences as well. But we wanted to keep with the classic, which is the Windows 3.1, 95, and 98 kind of look. That we call that classic because that's the old legacy classic look. Luna, which is the sort of XP look, and then Aero, which is the sort of Windows 7 / Aero look, 7, I guess 7/8 look kind of thing, and then Redstone, which is the Windows 10/11 look. So we basically focused on these 4 main themes and polishing them instead of having hundreds of themes that might be some polished and some not polished. So by default, we're on the Aero theme, right? Changing themes is easy. You just click there. For example, I'm in Classic now. I just one click and I'm in Classic. And as you can see, top-notch theming, very beautiful, very pretty. Everything just looks kind of like, like classic, very polished. Everything's very polished, down to even the buttons or the checkboxes. As you can see, even the checkboxes, everything's there. Everything's polished, everything's working. So you're not going to have any kind of themes that are half done. Move over to the Luna theme, which is kind of like the XP type theme. And as you can see, even the menu, nicely laid out, nicely polished. Everything is perfect. The same with the... now, this is, I guess, where we started making subtle differences. I'm sure, as you can see, these are not the standard XP icons, because this is Luna is the XP kind of look. Now, the theme is nice and top-notch. You've got the nice blue on the one side, the white on the other side. I mean, all of this just looks so damn good, you know. Check boxes, even the sort of little highlight orange with green check, just like you would, you know. But the icons look a little different. That's because we're using the Linux bubble icons, as you can see there. These are I think they're called the bubble icon set. But they have a very kind of XP kind of look, a very similar look to the XP icons. And the reason we chose to use this was because they kind of give that, they fit in with the XP theme, but at the same time, they do kind of modernize it, you know. So that's very nice. And then, of course, you have seen Aero. Now, Aero, we spent a lot of time fixing these buttons and the window borders, making all of this work, because as I'm sure you guys know, since I brought out the new GTK, they kind of messed up all the old themes. So it was kind of a lot of work getting everything to work. Aero, again, is a very kind of Windows look. It's more updated. Everybody should know the Windows 7, Windows 8 kind of look. I still think it's the best look that Windows had in a long time. The new Windows 11, 10, 11 just does not compare. Anyway, so by default, I guess we leave this Aero theme as the default. The Redstone, if you move over to Redstone, is the new Windows, as you can see, the new Windows 10, 11 look. Very modern, nice modern icon set, beautiful out the box, everything working as intended. Right, now, I know I mentioned the special effects with just the 3D over there, but we also, part of the special effects is the transparent panel. Now, if you don't have anything maximized, the panel is transparent, but the moment you maximize something, the panel pops up. So there is that little part of the special effects as well that I didn't mention earlier. So as you can see there, no panel pops up. And of course, panel usually fits with a menu. So the panel only pops up when the Windows full screen, and that goes for all of the themes. Okay, so there's the classic look. As you can see, there's the panel, there's no panel. There's the panel, there's no panel. The same with the Luna XP look. There's a panel, there's no panel. There's a panel, and as I'm sure you know, there's no green here. Usually the Windows would have a green, but because we use a standard icon, we removed that. So we kind of, you know, like I said, we're going for a similar to Windows look, not a clone. We never intended to make a clone. The intention of this distro was always to make people from Windows coming to Linux feel comfortable, not to clone Windows, just to make them comfortable, and there's nothing more comfortable than the basic theming. Also, there are some Linux users that actually kind of like the Windows themes. They might not like Windows, but they do feel comfortable in the themes, and so they will also like this. There's no reason for us to actually clone the Windows look perfectly, just good enough to make people feel comfortable. Okay, so again, there's the panel, there's no panel. As you can see, we spent a lot of time. I mean, it's all perfect. Everything fits nicely, you know, fits nicely within all the borders, you know, the effects on everything. It's just all there. We spent a lot of time making these themes beautiful and work out of the box. The same with the Aero. Maximize with the Aero, we've got actually a different little, the panel we've edited here a little bit. By default, the panel looks different. We've made it a sort of a little bit of a transparent effect and added a tinge of kind of like a green color on there. But it changes with the background because that's actually the green grass you see through the back. But there is like a tinge of blue on there, which currently shines as green. So because this is blue, the panels are slightly blue, but a transparent blue, and the blue and the green gives you this kind of look. So again, the panel shows when you're full screen, panel's gone, panel shows, panel's gone. And of course, you've seen that with Redstone as well. Oh, sorry, click on Redstone. You've seen that with Redstone as well. Panel there. And with the Redstone Windows 10, 11 theme, instead of the straight flat panel, we did curve the panel a little bit. So it's not exactly the default panel, but this is pretty. It is pretty. It's see-through, it's sort of semi-transparent, especially the top half. And it does give that beveled curve. So again, not a perfect clone, but our kind of take on it, and it's nice. It's pretty. So you've got these nice themes. You've got some nice special effects here out of the box, and you've got your transparent panel. So when you're not using anything or nothing is full screen, you've got this nice transparent panel, which makes this desktop look very, very modern and lets you see more of your wallpaper. Perfect, perfect. You can also mix and match the themes. Let's go back to Aero there. You can also go to advanced themes. And if you open up advanced themes, here you can change your Windows borders, icons, controls, mouse pointers, and your desktop theme. And so you can mix and match. You might like the borders of Windows 7, but you might like the icons of the Windows bubble icons. You might like the bubble icons with the Windows 7 look, but you might like the controls of the classic. You can mix and match. Like they've still got the Windows 7 borders, the Aero borders, but I'm changing up everything else. And so if you actually look here, this might look strange. Some people might like it, You can mix and match. I mean, there's nothing to stop you from mixing and matching your themes. That's what's nice about the theme manager from Cinnamon, the default theme manager that they have. So that we did not remove that. We made it as part of advanced themes, so people can mix and match their themes as they see fit. This is a very easy system to run. We try to keep everything simple and basic. Of course, clicking on Settings Manager will open your actual system settings, and now we're going to move to that portion of the video. So we've done the special effects, or at least a basic breakdown of the special effects, basic desktop breakdown. There's a lot more to tell, but I'm just focusing on the important basic stuff here. If we open up the settings panel, you're going to see there's quite a lot that's changed here. You've got a lot of the default stuff that does come with the Cinnamon desktop. But we have changed the backgrounds. The backgrounds now opens up the wallpaper manager. And before I actually go further, let's just show the wallpaper manager quickly. You can change wallpapers, and all of our distros do this. You can just right click on the desktop and select wallpaper. And then you can just go through the different wallpaper, select one that you want. It's that simple, changing a wallpaper, right? So you can, for example, choose the eagle, whatever you want. There's some really nice ones here. These are mostly outdoorsy type of wallpapers that cover virtually everything that looks kind of fits the theme. You can even have a chicken or a boat or whatever. But it's all outdoorsy stuff. A lot of it is generated by our AI. So right-click, select wallpaper. You can also right-click and just choose random wallpaper, and it will just jump to a random wallpaper. Okay, so that's the backgrounds, right? And this is actually the manager where you can configure, because we use the variety wallpaper manager, so you can actually configure your wallpaper options. There's lots and lots and lots of options to play with. Your Conky desktop clock over there, we've got a desktop clock option in the menu. As you can see, we've included a couple of themes. You can just change, swap, change, go crazy with settings and so forth. So you can manage your Conky from that link, and you can also import. There's an import a theme pack from like a Conky theme pack if you want. So we have included under the appearance a Conky manager as well. Desktop manager, as you saw, it's on the desktop, but you can also access it via your system settings, and then of course your advanced theme manager also via system settings. Most of the preferences here are all default except shared folders. We added shared folders, so you can manage shared folders straight from your settings manager. And of course, wine configurator. And if I click that now, it's going to actually create a wine bottle, so I won't. But wine configurator opens up the wine tricks, where you can, load libraries and wine settings and so forth. Wine is pre-installed, of course, and so easy to configure your wine from the settings manager. Under hardware, we added the printers, so here you can just manage your printers very easily. Sorry, I clicked on that a few times now. You can manage your printers from very easily, and of course, system info will give you a basic breakdown of system info there. Administration has quite a lot of new icons here. Firstly, you've got your firewall, your driver manager, your grub boot manager that opens grub customizer, backup restore, which is time shift, so you can add restore points and back up your system and restore your system. And highly recommend that you do that, by the way. You've got an antivirus, and people might ask, why do you need an antivirus? Well, these days it's not just Windows that gets attacked by viruses. There are some Linux viruses out there. And if you do run Wine, if you install Windows stuff, it's always good to have an antivirus. So while it might not be necessary, it is just an extra layer of protection. If you don't need it, don't use it. But it is there for the guys that want to use it. So there is an antivirus installed. It really takes just a few kilobytes of space, so it's not like it's a massive thing to put in. We've got the AI interface, and I don't want to click on that now, but we'll get to that in a bit. But you can manage your AI from there. Of course, the firewall's in there, your kernel managers in there, and the rest you should know. These are all standard. Your login manager, and your software sources, and your user and groups, obviously, as well. So as you can see, it's a nice system settings. It's got a lot laid out right on the all-in-one panel. So we've added quite a lot there, and we're probably going to expand on that. But you can manage a lot of your system backend straight from here. So that's the settings manager, and you can get that by right-clicking and system settings, or even going to your desktop manager and just going to settings over there. That will also open up system settings. Now the desktop manager, you've got your wallpaper manager. You've also got the constructor tool. So if you click on that, it brings up the constructor tool, which I'm sure a lot of Makulu users will know. Those that don't, this is how you create an ISO from your existing desktop. You can edit your distro details, view the log, edit the exclude and include list, watch the tutorial, and click Start Constructor. So it's very easy to use. If you watch the video tutorial, it will guide you through that. But basically, it turns your desktop into an ISO that you can reinstall again on another PC with just a few clicks. So it's a very, very awesome little tool, and it's included as well as part of the desktop manager. Right, so most of that has been answered now. You guys have an idea of what LinDoz is. It's basically super fast, because it is really fast and snappy. It's nice and snappy with some nice special effects. Very good looking. The themes are top notch. I mean, I can't even begin to express how cool and top notch these themes are. And you swap between them with a click of a button. You change the mouse cursor, the GTK, the Windows themes, the icon themes, and everything with a click of a button. And within a second or two, it all changes. And like I said, they're very polished, and they are top notch, top notch. Now, I want to start getting, also want to mention that Snaps and Flatpak is pre-installed. So you can just open up Software Manager, and you'd have a massive variety of software available to install. Let's quickly just take a look at some of the software that's pre-installed before we move on to the AI section. So if we look at accessories, you've got your standard stuff, calculator, file search, and so forth. Your menu editor, your text editor, of course, your compression tool and Wine tricks. You've also got Nomax image viewer. Under your internet, you've got Discord pre-installed. Microsoft Edge. Now, people might ask, why? Why do you install Microsoft Edge? Well, I have a couple of reasons. And I don't want people to be put off by this. But at the same time, I am building this for majority of users, not just one specific crowd. However, it is a LinDoz build, and so it will cater more to the people coming from Windows, right? And they're used to Microsoft Edge, firstly. Secondly, I've been noticing Microsoft Edge has a growing fan base in Linux. More and more people are using it. Probably because of all the AI integration lately, but more people are using it. And people I never thought would use it are using it. Maybe not as the main browser, but as a browser. So I've been noticing that the Linux crowd I hang out with, more of them are starting to use Microsoft Edge. And a lot of these people are people that hate Microsoft, number one. And like a year ago, they wouldn't touch this browser. And now they're using it. So I am noticing this uptick a trend of people using it. And therefore, I thought, why not? So I added it. If you don't like it, it's easy to remove. Just like anything else in Linux, replace it with a browser that you like. Remove it, install Brave, install Firefox, whatever you want. I'm not going to remove it because one or two people are unhappy about it. You don't like it? Remove it. Add your own browser. It's not that difficult. But like, give it a try, because I think you would be pleasantly surprised of how well this browser actually works on Linux. Anyway, so yeah, so Microsoft Edge is pre-installed. Steam is also pre-installed. So you want a game? Great. Steam is pre-installed. There's not much for you to do. You can just game out of the box. Office, we have no default Office suite installed. We thought we'd leave that for the users to install. So you can just open Software Center, install your own Office suite, be it LibreOffice, WPS Office, Open Office. There's so many of them. Whichever is your favorite, you can just pre-install. Take you a few minutes. There's a calendar, contacts, and a default document viewer that's installed. Under sound and video, we've got Pulse We've got, of course, your normal volume controllers in there, but we've got VLC Media Player and MPV Player installed. Why both? Well, personally, I use MPV Player a lot, and we also do use it for things like our intro videos and screensavers and things like that. So that's the reason we included that. However, due to the fact that VLC is very popular amongst a lot of Linux users, we always try and include that as well. So you've got both. They don't really take much space. So we do have a different onboard keyboard as well, including a KMag, which is your Zoom screen magnification tool. Under administration, you've got quite a bit here. You've got the BleachBit, DconF editor, boot repair, driver manager, crop customizer, HTOP, LightDM, manager, mainline kernels, your share sensors, Synaptic Package Manager is pre-installed, your terminal. There's mostly a lot of backend stuff installed that people will use a lot of the time. And then, of course, your preferences is just your what's in your settings manager. Most of that is in there. Games, you've got Steam, obviously, and programming is where all the AI stuff is. So here you've got your Bart GPT, Bing GPT, ChatGPT, and these are all native desktop clients. So it's not like you click on the link and it will open in a browser. No. If you click on, for example, ChatGPT, it will actually open up the native desktop ChatGPT app where you can actually log in and just use it straight from the app. Okay. Yes, exit. And so that goes for ChatGPT, Bing GPT, and Bart GPT. You click on Bart GPT, you'll see it actually opens up the desktop app, Google Bart. You can log in and just start using it. So you don't need to be in a browser. It's not browser specific or anything like that. Straight from the desktop, you log into your own account, use your own account to pull up your own history, all of your saved settings and so forth. So this is great. They're native clients installed for you to use. And then we have our image generators and our Electra terminal. Okay, so I've made some changes. I'm re-recording the AI section because we've just added a new feature which was in the works, but it wasn't ready earlier today, but now it is. So I'm stitching this on as part of the main video, and it's one of the reasons the video has been delayed so long. But I'm going to show you guys the AI now. So I've actually recorded this before, but there's a new feature, so I'm redoing it. Okay, so let's talk about the AI. So in LinDoz, you can access the AI via either the desktop, the panel, or via the menu. It's called Electra Terminal. Okay, so there's a terminal icon on the desktop, there's one in the panel, and there's one in the menu under programming, right? So to access the AI, you simply just double click it. Whether you click it from there, doesn't matter. It opens up, pops up a window. And this window gives you 4 modes that you can use, right? So you got chat mode, terminal mode, advisor mode, and command mode. Now, there's a little breakdown here on top that explains each mode, but I'll go into detail. Let's first take a look at terminal mode. So terminal mode is actually just a regular terminal. There's no AI involved. It's just that if you click on the terminal icon and then you choose terminal mode, it just opens a regular terminal, right? Nothing fancy about it. It's the same as going right click, opening terminal. Same. Okay. So terminal mode is just a regular terminal. If you don't want AI, you just want to run commands or whatever the case might be, just terminal mode will work fine. Chat mode is the one that most people are familiar with. This is where you're actually talking to the AI. And you can talk about anything under the sun. So I'm just going to maximize it so you can see nicely. And we're going to quickly run through some of the features of chat mode. Now, chat mode is just talking to the AI. So you can ask it anything. You can say, what is the speed of light? For example, plain and simple, very easy question, right? It'll take anywhere from about 5 seconds to about 15 seconds, give or take, depending on how busy the server is, to reply. In this case, 10 seconds. But it gives very decent, good quality answers. It's not like it just gives the speed, it gives you more information, right? So, and then you say, and in a different medium like water. And so now I'm asking it about the speed of light in a different medium like water. And now it will take another 8, 10, maybe 12 seconds and give me another really good detailed answer, as you can see. So you can talk to the AI about anything under the sun, and have hour-long conversations. It can write code, it can write poems, it can write music, it can, whatever you want to discuss under the sun, you can talk to it about. It also has a read mode. As you can see up there, it has read mode, and it has a multi-line mode. Now, because it's a terminal, you can only type one line at a time. What happens if you want to feed it code, or if you want to show it a story and have it edit or make changes to the story, or whatever the case might be? That is when you type multi-line. If you type multi-line, it pops up a box, and here you can paste your code or paste your article or whatever. Doesn't matter how many lines it is. You can paste it and click submit, and it will accept all of the lines as if it's a normal like web page with multi-line support. So the chat mode has multi-line support, which is really nice. And then read mode also has multi-line support, but read mode has a specific purpose. For example, let me type something here. Once there was a boy named Bob. Bob used to love flying his kite out in the field. Now, read mode, there was a, okay, let's just go, there was a boy named Bob. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, sorry, that's my phone. So basically, read mode lets the AI read whatever you type in the box back to you in AI voice. Let's hit submit and listen.
There was a boy named Bob. Bob used to love flying his kite out in the field.
Okay, now the nice thing about that is that if you want something read in AI voice, you can use the audio recorder, switch it on, go into read mode, type whatever you want, hit enter, and the AI will read it while you record it. Then you can just trim off the edges, and boom, you got your nice AI voice. So we got multi-line, we got read mode, we got chat mode. It's a really nice chat bot AI. I mean, it's AI. You can ask it anything, talk to it about anything. It's great. You can sit for hours and have conversation. It can write code, it can write poems, it can write stories, it can write adverts, it can write jokes, whatever. So that's chat mode, right? So let's go back. So, terminal mode is a terminal. Chat mode is talking to the AI, right? Now, advisor mode is a very new, unique feature that we've just added. Now, with advisor mode, unlike command mode, I've covered command mode in one of my previous videos. Command mode lets the AI actually run commands on your PC. So it gives the AI access to your PC. Advisor mode, it does not. Advisor mode is very similar to chat mode, but at the same time, it's not, because advisor mode is like a Linux IT technician. Like if you had this Linux IT technician, which was one of your best friends and could guide you in any way, shape, or form on how to and what to do in Linux, this would be it. So you can ask it, for example, you could say run system updates. You might not know Linux, you might not know how to do it. So you say run system updates, it will take a few seconds to process it, and then it will actually guide you how to run system updates. You'll see it will pop up now. There we go. To run system updates on MakuluLinux, open a terminal and type the following command: sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. This will check for updates and install any that are available. If you want to install updates automatically, you can enable automatic update options in software and update settings. Cool, easy. Let's say install an Office suite. Well, let's say how to. Talk to it like a human. How to install an Office suite. Let's ask it how to install an Office suite and see what it says. Now, it does tend to take a few seconds longer than chat mode, in this case 12 seconds, but it gives very decent response guides. There it says there are a few different ways to install an Office suite on MakuluLinux. One way is to use the Software Center to do this. Open a Software Center, search for Office suite. You will see a list of different Office suites you can install. Select one suite that you want to click install and click on install. Another way to install Office suite is to use the command line. To do this, open a terminal window and type the following command: sudo apt install LibreOffice. This will install LibreOffice suite. Once you've installed Office suite, you can open the applications menu. LibreOffice suite includes word processor, blah, 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 blah. If you're looking for more lightweight Office suites, you can try Abby word processor or G-numeric spreadsheet program. These programs are available in the Software Center. I hope this helps. So you see, it's an advisor, especially for newcomers to Linux or people that simply just don't always remember the commands, don't know the commands. I mean, you can ask it anything Linux related. You can ask it, for example, what gaming platforms are popular that I can install and run, and how do I go about it? There we go. If you're a gamer but you're not, or you want to set up a gaming PC for like your kid or something, or your brother or your sister, or you can ask it what gaming platforms are popular that I can install and run, and how do I go about it? And there we go. So here it goes. Sure, there are many platforms that you can install and run on MakuluLinux. Here are a few of them. Steam is a popular digital distribution service that allows you to open terminal, type the command sudo apt install Steam. Lutris is a free and open source gaming, and gives a breakdown and says sudo apt install Lutris. Play on Linux, Proton. Once you've installed these gaming platforms to play, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, you can literally, it's a Linux guide. This is actually Electra, by the way. It's just, it has an advisor mode. This is something I've been working on, building a branching off Electra to not only have like a chat mode where you can communicate with it on anything, but also be a Linux or fine-tuned Linux model, so it can literally assist you with anything Linux related, right? So you can ask it anything, you can speak to it, tell it all of your Linux problems. You can say, how do I install or update my NVIDIA GPU? There we go. How do I install or update my NVIDIA GPU? Something very simple, but a lot of guys wouldn't know how to do that. I mean, if you don't, not all distributions have Linux driver managers. But there we go. It gives you a little breakdown. There are a few ways to install or update your NVIDIA GPU on MakuluLinux. One way is to use the NVIDIA driver PPA. To do this, open a terminal, type the following commands, blah, 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 blah. Another way is to install and update is to use the NVIDIA website. To do this, go to the NVIDIA website, download the drivers, da 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 da. So, very nice. It actually gives you PPAs and things to add, advises you. So it is a full-on, let's just type clear, because it says you can type clear or CLS to clear the screen. So it is a Linux advisor. It will, for example, how do I speed test my HDD? What Linux command do I use? Let's see if it can tell me how do I speed test my HDD, my hard drive. What Linux command can I use? So you can ask it. It's very, very knowledgeable on Linux related things, and so it will give you really good advice. And this is running or using AI without having the AI access your system. That's what this is really. And there we go. To test your speed of your HDD on Linux, you can use the following command. Replace the dev SDX with the device name of your hard drive. So it's like SD1, SD2, SD3. That's what the X is. You can find the device name by running the following command. The output of the HD palm command will show you the read and write speed of your hard drive. How cool is that? Now let's see how do I back up my system? And we'll try one last one. How do I back up my system? We could have said restore as well, but we use backup. Let's see what pops up. So it's depending on server load. Sometimes there's quite a lot of people on the server, and it might take 10-20 seconds. Sometimes it's quick, just a few people, and it might take 8 seconds, but it's just a few seconds. I think anything under 30 seconds is acceptable. Anyway, so it says here how to back up the system. There are a few ways to back up. One way is use Timeshift is Well, we already have Timeshift installed. Once Timeshift is installed, it gives you the commands to run Another option that gives you here is Clonezilla. Okay, pretty cool. So this is CLS or clear screen. So this is advisor mode. Very powerful, very powerful. You can just ask it questions the way you would speak to an IT technician. You know, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I see my partitions? How do I check for USB this? How do I, what webcam app is recommended to use? Blah blah blah. It will reply. It will advise you the same way that a professional, very knowledgeable IT guy that knows Linux well would advise you. Same. Okay, so advisor mode, really nice. It's part of LinDoz. By the way, I forgot to mention chat mode is voice activated as well. I forgot to mention that. Remember earlier we were asking about the speed of light? Chat mode is also voice activated. So listen to this. I'm going to use it now. Electra, how far is the moon from Earth?
Processing.
Now, see, it picked up east instead of east. But let's watch.
Processing.
I'm pretty sure that the AI
will actually... The moon is an average of 238,900 miles, 384,400 kilometers away from Earth.
See, it still picked it up. It auto-corrected. It knew what I was asking, even though I made a mistake with it made a mistake with my voice recognition. So the main difference between text and voice in chat mode is that voice will always give much shorter answers, where text will give much more detailed answers. And the reason we fine-tuned it in that way is that you don't want to sit there and listen for a 2-minute long, because it doesn't read very fast. It doesn't read at the same speed that we speak. And so you don't want this long answer and it talks for 2 minutes long. No. You want a very sort of direct, straightforward answer. So it talks, sounds good, and then it's gone. And so if I ask the same question with text, I'll get this sort of like a paragraph like that long, But you ask it via voice, you'll get a straightforward answer. So voice works as well. So chat supports both text and voice, by the way. That's chat mode. I forgot to mention that. But advisor mode is just text, and it just advises you like a Linux assistant, like a real, proper, professional IT Linux assistant. Command mode is on another level, because command mode, let's just type here the password. Command mode, well, this is where things get a little dangerous, I guess, in some ways, but not really, because let's go CLS or clear screen. Oops, you can't. Sorry, command mode doesn't. So command mode is where things get a little bit dangerous, because it actually has access to your computer. Now, It doesn't have access to anything at all until you give it access. For example, it doesn't know what's on my desktop. Obviously, it doesn't have access to my desktop. But if I say, what icons are on my desktop? If I ask it what icons are on my desktop, it now runs a command, scans my desktop, and it says the following icons on the desktop: boot repair, desktop manager, and Electro terminal interface. And there we go, boot repair, desktop manager, Electro terminal interface. With command mode, the AI is now connected to your PC. You can ask it to actually run commands, not just tell you the commands, but it can run the commands. And it would. Whatever you ask it, it will do. If I ask it to change my theme to classic, it will now change the theme. There you see, I asked it to change the theme to classic. It detects that I'm running one theme and it runs the command to change the theme to the Windows Classic theme. And it works with voice as well, by the way. Command mode works with voice too. So I can say, Electra, change my theme to Windows XP. And there you go. Now let's change it to XP. So it doesn't reply in voice, obviously. That would be a very bad idea to make it the output voice. What we've done is we've put the input voice so you can talk to it, but you don't want output voice because you do not want commands or for it to tell you what it's done out loud. You never know who's listening. I mean, you don't want people to know what you're running on your PC, right? Chatting is one thing because that can be fun. So voice chatting is cool, but you do not want these types of commands to be read out loud. That's not a good idea. So you can talk to it with voice because you're just asking it to change the theme. You're not really, giving it commands or any sensitive information, but you do not want it to talk back. So only voice input works, not voice output. Anyway, so text and voice works. I'm sure most people probably just use text anyway. But you can ask it anything. Change my wallpaper, for example, and it will change the wallpaper as you saw. No, I like the old wallpaper. Change it back to the previous one. And there we go, changes back to the old wallpaper. Speed test my HDD. And now we see if it will run a speed test on the hard drive. Okay, sometimes that happens. Can you do a speed test on my hard drive? Doom, doom, doom. I know it's working because it's taking longer. There we go. So that happens sometimes. Just rerun the command or change the wording or whatever. So we go. Here's the results of your HDD speed test. Time cached speed reads, timing buffered, read disk reads, blah 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 blah. So that gives the read and write speeds, right? Great. Let's try something else. Let's try and create a file. Create a file on my desktop called funny.txt. See if we can make it right. There we go. It's funny. Open the file. You can do anything with this. I mean, any Linux command. You must remember that Linux runs on commands. The interface is just a GUI. You click close button. It's actually running a command to close the button. Right? You drag it from here to here. That's just a Linux command moving a box from XY over here to XY over there. So you don't actually need an interface. There's loads and loads of corporations using backend servers, that Linux servers that just literally run off a terminal and they just type commands for anything and everything. So If you have a terminal open, you can do anything, open anything, write anything, test anything, so, compare anything. So this is very powerful. This command mode is extremely powerful because just like advisor mode, you do not need to know the Linux commands. This advisor mode is extremely similar. The difference is advisor mode will guide you how to do it because it does not have access to your PC. Command mode will actually do it because it does have access to your PC. So here you can ask it, is wine installed? It can actually scan your PC and tell you even what's installed. It can do anything. There's a Linux command for it. It can tell you, yes, wine is installed on your system. The installed version is 6.0.3. What desktop environment am I running? You can ask it anything. As you can see, you're running the Cinema desktop environment. What operating system am I running? You are running MakuluLinux LinDoz Beta 1 operating system. See, so anything and everything. That's command mode. Now, command mode is not cheap. It costs us money to run command mode. So out of the box, chat mode will be free and available. Terminal mode, obviously, because that's the terminal. Advisor mode, we're not quite sure yet. That might be available in a limited capacity, might be available only to pro users. But it is very powerful because it can advise and tell you anything you want to know, anything, with the safety net of not having access to your PC. I think majority of people will probably use advisor mode. And then there will be the people that don't actually really care whether the AI has access to their PCs, and they'll use command mode. But advisor mode, very powerful, very, very powerful, and very cool. I mean, really, really cool. What webcam software is advised to use on Linux? Or I could have said Makulu as well. It will now tell me which webcam software it advises me to use. So I'm guessing it's probably checking which are popular, and then it will give results based on that. But it is very powerful because it will probably even tell me how to install it. Like, there we go. There are many great webcam software options available for Linux. Some popular choices include Cheese, GU View, C View, Webcamoid, FS Webcam. To install Cheese, open a terminal and type the following: sudo apt get installed, Once you install these, Cheese is a great option, Cool. What about a golf game? Are there any native golf games for Linux? Let's see. I'm curious. I don't even know if there is a native golf game, but let's ask. Why not? Anybody new to Linux might ask something like that, as ridiculous as it sounds. But anyway, while it's busy doing its thing and actually searching, and then posting the results, as you can see, this is very, very powerful. Advisor mode is so awesome. And then we go, sure, here are some native golf games for Linux. Aardwolf, a free and open source golf game with realistic physics engine. Bernard Langer's Championship Pro Golf, Hades, blah, blah. Ooh, wow, there's quite a few. To install the games, you can use the following commands. Sudo apt install this, sudo apt install that, sudo apt install, sudo apt, Once you have installed the game, you can launch it from Dash or by typing the following command. Wow, it's pretty cool. Really, really nice. I mean, I thought this was unrealistic. I didn't know that there was going to come such a nice reply. I mean, I didn't even know there was a golf game for Linux, obviously. I don't play golf. But I just thought I'd type in something absurd. But as you can see, advisor mode, very, very, very powerful. So let's type clear again. Easy. I'm on top of the screen, and now I can ask anything else. So, anything Linux related, especially to do with your PC, things that you want to do, but you don't know what the command is. You want to check this or check that. How do I check which Bluetooth devices are connected to my computer? So you can ask it anything, like even that, and it will now give you the command, literally give you the command to do that, and any additional commands that you might even need. And it takes about a couple of seconds longer than chat mode, but it does a good job. So there we go. Hi, I can help you with that. There's the command. This will give you a list of all devices that are currently connected to your computer. You can also use the info command to get more information about specific. For example, to get information about device, name my Bluetooth device, you would use the following command: Bluetooth CTL info my Bluetooth device. Wow, it even gives you an example. Wow, great, awesome, really, really nice. So yeah, very, very, very powerful advisor mode. And I think this really concludes the new phase. I told you guys the last few weeks I've been saying that we're moving into a new phase with AI on Makulu. And now I'm sure you guys are curious whether we're going to be backporting this to the other distros. And yes, we probably will. At least advisor mode will be ported to all of our distros. Chat mode is already there, although not in its current form. The current form will be backported as well. Command mode, I'm still unsure about because it's very new. We're still expanding on features. There's a lot to do. We still get errors and issues from time to time. Like I said, it's very new. So we have to stabilize it. We have to make sure that it's logging correctly, that it's catching, debugging and catching errors, and that more features are available and so forth. So command mode is going to grow exponentially in the coming months, exponentially. Advisor mode as well. We'll keep expanding on that, adding more features as well. Chat mode, we're quite happy with where it is right now because I'm not quite sure what we can do to make that better. Maybe optimize it a little bit more, but other than that, it's actually really good. So that basically concludes the AI section. I'm sure you guys, your mouths are watering right now to get hold of this because these are just, you can talk to the AI, just have fun with it. Advisor mode, wow, dream come true for any Linux user. You can literally ask it anything. You can even ask it like, how do I? Let's try something else cool. Yeah, let's just play around. I know the video is long, but just give me a second. Yeah. So how do I add a program to auto start with the computer? And let's ask that. How do I add a program to auto start with the computer? So just something stupid like that, right? I was actually going to ask it to put it on a timer, which you could do as well. I'm sure it'll. There we go. It's giving me options here. Da 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 da. Echo path to program city. Da da da. There we go. Pretty awesome. Replace the da 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 with the program. Da 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 da. Wow. 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 So yeah, advisor mode. There's no more need to go to Google and search your Linux questions there and dig through pages and pages and to get your command that you're actually looking for. You can literally just open a terminal and just ask the AI. It can give you all the information that Quora and all other websites send you in these endless circles. Yeah, you just ask it. It will just tell you. So yeah, pretty cool. That concludes our AI section. Chat mode, text, voice, multi-line, and read mode, great. Advisor mode is like a Linux user's dream come true. You have your own personal, professional Linux guy on hand to help you with anything and everything at any point in time that you want. Great. And then, of course, command mode, where you can actually have the AI actually command your PC. You just give it some info, change this, do this, shut down my computer, whatever. It will do it. So that's it, guys. That's our AI section. Oh, by the way, the AI is also available in the settings manager as well. There we go. AI interface. It's also there. So that's the fourth place. You've got it's in the terminal, it's in the panel, it's on the desktop, it's in the menu, and it's over there. And then the other, sorry, let me just cover these others quickly. That's Electra. I've just been focusing on Electra now the whole time. We've also got a Bart GPT, Bing GPT, ChatGPT, and these are actual interfaces to each of those. So you can actually log into ChatGPT with your login and have your settings and everything. It's a native app. You also have image generators over here, so you can open up a free image generator that we have on the distro, and you can ask it anything to generate images. So you can say, funky looking frog, and we'll leave that style there, that model, and let's choose here like Disney style or something, like Disney style, and we choose create image, and this takes 10, 20 seconds, whatever. And then it will generate an image of a frog. And the images are like 3000 by 2000 something, so it's wallpaper size. So you can save it, use it, whatever. There's no copyright on these images, so you can do whatever you want with these images. So we're offering a really good AI. There we go. Look at that. You click on the image now, look at that full size. You can see there 3072 by 2048. Look at that quality. So that's it. That's image generator. Generate anything in a matter of seconds. Let me just remove that. And of course, you have all of the different AI modes here. AI's really kicked off in our distros, huh? How far has it come? The guys that have been watching over the last few months, as we've slowly built this up, I'm sure you guys must be thinking now, wow, they've come a long way. Anyway, so that's it. That concludes our AI section. I'll stitch the rest of the video in now. Great. One other thing I'd like to cover here, and that is the intro manager. So when you first install Makulu, like we do with all of our distros, after you're not in live mode, this is after you've installed it, and you boot up for the first time, you always get the setup manager where you can install your drivers, fireworks, and so forth. We've added an option to remove AI. If you click on that, it will tell you this tool will remove all AI integration from the operating system. Not a trace of AI will be left. If you are worried about AI invasion or privacy, safety concerning AI, then this tool is for you. After removal, there's no reason to worry about AI. This is not reversible. Once AI is removed, it cannot be put back. Only a reinstall can restore the AI functionality. When ready, click the button below and there's remove AI. So, for the guys that dislike AI, they love the operating system, they like the look, the themes, they like everything, they like the bouncy effects, they think like, wow, this is such a good job, it's so great, but I don't like the AI, I don't want AI. Yeah. Yes, we've included an AI removal tool. When you first boot up, after install, obviously, in live mode, we want the AI there so people can try it out because it's live mode, it doesn't actually harm your PC. But after install, the first time you boot, you can just click remove AI, hit the button, and it will remove all AI. It will remove the the terminal interface. It will remove all the Bart, chat, Bing, blah blah blah, image create. Everything's gone. All the AI is gone. There won't be any trace of any file or icon or anything related to AI. So your system will be as plain as possible without. It's like AI never existed on it. Okay, so we do cater for that crowd. The people that don't want AI, there is an AI removal tool there. And it's simple. Click it. It takes like 20 seconds to run, if that. Just boom, boom, boom. Everything's gone. Done. Your PC is AI free. Okay. Actually forgot to mention, we've included another menu. And that's this. If you right click anywhere, you can right click on the desktop, click main menu. It pops up this little ring menu, this pie menu. And you can even open up like a file manager or whatever, or have Windows open and right click on the window, and you could also right click and it pops up. For the guys that do like that menu, I've had requests in the past like, when are we going to bring this back, and is it only ever going to stay in Shift? Well, it's in the LinDoz as well. You have a regular menu too, but you also have this funky little menu, which is a nice touch. You have other options too. You can scan any folder or whatever for viruses. Simply right-click, scan for threats. So you don't have to actually go into your system settings and go virus, open the virus manager. No, you can just right-click here and choose scan for threats. You can also reload your desktop. Reload desktop or reload Cinnamon completely. That's nice for if you're messing around with applets and desklets and things like that. You can just reload. So there's some nice customizations and touches that we've put onto this to make this distro very nice. But you can see it runs well. It runs really well. I mean, it runs well. It's got some nice AI features that I don't think exist anywhere in any other Linux distro at the moment. Something else I forgot to mention that actually I just saw it now. We did enable the hot corners, the top left one. So if you push the mouse into the top left corner, it will sort of tile any open windows, so you can like select something that's anything that's open, it will sort of tile it in overview mode and it will blur the background, so you can just quickly select something. But that you can turn off under hot corners in settings manager. And I think that covers our video. You guys can see how well this runs. Super fast, super cool looking, great theming out of the box, some really nice AI features, great themes, great menu, everything's just great special effects. I mean, and of course it has a life cycle until 2027. Runs on the Cinnamon DE, which is just by itself pretty fast on almost any hardware. So yeah, I think we have a winner with this release. And of course Conky out of the box, nice settings manager. So this is MakuluLinux LinDoz 2023. Kind of funny that we're releasing it at the end of 2023, but yeah, we are hoping to release it somewhere between the 15th of December and I'd say between the 20th and the 25th. I'm going to try before Christmas, like somewhere between the 15th and the 20th. I'm going to try for that. I'd say the next 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks tops. Thank you and bye-bye.